Hi, Scorpio. It's Angela. We are here to do your mid-August-ish reading. I know it's a little bit late, but still the current energies for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we are pulling an oracle for guidance for this soul guidance reading from the Earth Magic deck. And the card that I pulled for you guys is Iceberg. Something is out of your consciousness. Something is unknown or beyond your consciousness. This is either an aspect of yourself that has been pushed away or held back and hidden out of view, or this could also mean something in your experience. You don't have enough information yet, and there's more to come. The iceberg, when it shows up above the ocean's surface, it's only a small percentage of what actually is submerged below. So the tip that shows up, the tip of the iceberg, how we talk about that saying, like this is just the start of it, right? Because of that, because there's, I don't know if it's like 5 or 10% of the whole iceberg is the part that you see. The rest of it's all done beneath. So the information or this aspect of yourself is still hidden. It's not coming up to the surface yet. So we're going to see what the Zen Tarot says to give us guidance on how to address some of these hidden truths. Now, keep in mind as we go, this is either totally within you, like your own personal information that's been submerged, or this is something that is in your experience in your waking world that you don't have enough information on yet, and you must, see how to navigate when that information comes to the surface. Okay. All right. So here is the spread we have for you. We have your starting point, inner energies. They're sort of hidden and maybe underneath the surface, which is kind of what this whole topic is about, but that's what these energies are. And then this side are the exposed energies, or the things that show up in your day-to-day world. Then we have this card is our key to moving forward. And then up here, we have moved forward to a new level of understanding here. Okay, so your starting point, Scorpio, is mind. Okay, so this information that is not yet risen to the surface has either been weighing on your mind, or it's actually, like we talked about, if this is something intrinsic within you that has been hidden away, this could be something that you want to unlock in your memory and bring out. But at this point, this mind card, it shows that it's pretty crowded in there, right? Like it's time to sort of let some of this stuff show up and come out, to maybe quiet some of that mental energy that's happening there. If it is something within you that if that resonates for you, then it may be time to go ahead and begin to tap into it and start by feeling the feelings associated with it. And if this is something in your daily world that you're not quite, you don't have enough information on yet, then I feel like just taking time to let it unfold may be the guidance, but let's just see what's going on. So we have you starting out with this mind card, and internally within you, the understanding card came up. So yeah, so this is an emotion. This is a card of emotion. It's a water sign, a water symbol in the Zen deck. And it's showing that these doves, the one dove is feeling barricaded or separated from the group, from the rest, maybe this is from the known, right? You're feeling separated from whatever is submerged. These bars are kind of representing that barrier. But what also we must take note on is that the bars are fading, right? It's an illusion that there's any separation between you and this knowledge, or you and this aspect of yourself. It's an illusion, and the barriers were put up probably for a reason, for self-protection, if this is something within you. That's okay. And what the guidance is here is to allow for it's sort of the dissolving, for those barriers to just sort of dissolve away, and to let you connect again with this submerged information. And then if this is that thing that you just don't have enough information on yet, then know that the truth is coming, right? The truth is coming. Okay, so the combination of these feeling, thoughts and feelings as it relates to this submerged information, right? And realizing that there's nothing really, actively keeping this information away from you. It's really a matter of allowing it to rise up to the surface, okay? And then the combination of those two energies results in the need to be patient. The need to be patient. Now, this is a hard one. We don't, it's like, patience, what? I want this information now, or I want to work on this shadow side of myself. I want to work on it now. I want it to come up and out and be done with, or integrate into my current experience. But we know that's not always how the universe works, right? We don't, we look at this moon cycle, right? You see that how the moon is going from crescent, to full and then back. We know that this occurs every, whatever it is, 29 and a half days, 28 and a half days. I can't remember what it is. We know that the moon phases occur on a certain cycle. And yet, I don't think any of us goes at a new moon says, well, hurry up and be full now, right? You just know it's coming. You know it's coming, and it will show up. So this is that energy we have to hold sometimes. Just like the expecting mother who doesn't say, well, sometimes we do say, hurry, just, be born, but it happens in its own time. And that, first of all, honoring that everything happens in its own time is sometimes tricky. If we want, like, if it's this kind of energy where we want the information to come out, we want to discover more truths, when we want it to be done rapidly. But we have to trust that all in good time. It comes when it's ready to be presented to us. It rises to the surface on its own. Okay. All right, let's go back down. So now we're led to, so we have this understanding here that something does need to come to the surface. Energetically, nothing really separates us from it energetically. This is not, your persona or the person that walks, sometimes this stuff is hidden from our persona, but energetically, it's all there waiting to be discovered for us. And if we could just incorporate a little bit of trust and patience, then we will discover it in its own time, in due time. The key to moving forward and elevating this understanding or this awareness of the hidden submerged information, the key to moving forward, I got the friendliness card. So this is asking that you remain rooted and aligned in your own energy as the information comes to the surface. You will be able to welcome it in. Remember, going back to the beginning, if this is a hidden aspect within you that you want to let emerge, and as long as we practice the patience, it will come in its own time. It will rise up and it will be able to incorporate itself into your experience without really disrupting your alignment. And maybe that's why sometimes some of this stuff comes up more slowly, so that we can remain aligned when it enters our experience. These two trees, they're rooted heavily into the ground, and neither one of them, like if the wind were to blow, we're not going to get any kind of yanking. Like one of the trees is not going to yank the other one down. They're firmly rooted and solid. And so one of these trees will represent you, and the other one represents this information or this aspect of yourself that is submerged and wanting to come up to the surface. but that you will be able to stand side by side with it without much disruption. This is also a card of emotion. So it's a matter of feeling strong in your heart and in your soul, and knowing that as the information shows itself and rises to the surface, you are equipped and you are aligned and you're ready to receive it. Okay. Emotion wise. Okay. So now we get to discover, a higher understanding of this, and let's see where that lands. We got the dream and letting go and awareness. Very good. Very good. So this little set of 3 cards here, the landing point, once we master this understanding and this awareness that the information will come up and rise to the surface when it's ready, as long as we incorporate patience and make sure we're fully aligned so that we can receive it or activate it, right, from our hidden self, our shadow self. Then we get to this card, the dream. And this is the energy. It's kind of saying, there's an ideal situation that we all, like, I'm going to just give the example here in this card. It's the young princess dreaming of, marrying her Prince Charming and living happily ever after, right? Well, sometimes if we attach to something that specific, we could set ourselves up for disappointment, because many times life will throw different pieces of information at us or situations, kind of like a wrench in our system for us to have to accommodate or adapt to. And so this idea of, my life, the ideal life, and the way that I want to, present and receive and process information, or the way that I want my life set up, may be a little too rigid, or it may be asking for too much, right? Instead of being present in what is, in this present moment, no matter how close or far from this dream ideal state it may seem, we revert, back down to this patience and trust and knowledge that the universe is providing everything for us in the order, in the timing, in the pacing that we are able to process it and grow from it. Challenging situations come through, and we're asked to adapt to it or respond to it in a certain way. Usually, even if it feels like a challenge, or if it feels like, so far away from what we had planned, it usually will work out that we can adapt to it and make it work for us, and have grown for it too, as well, from a soul level. So this dream card, it's just an it's a calling for you to not be so tied in to one certain way of being, and that's the only way I'm going to be happy, right? Because there's a lot more to come, and your capacity to manage and handle this stuff that's rising up, or the truths that are being uncovered, your capacity, really depends on your willingness to be flexible and accept life as it is. So this dream card came up as your reminder that it's not always as we wish it to be. However, what it is and the way it does show up is happening for you. It's happening for your growth and for your learning and for your better understanding of your purpose here, and why you're here, and how well you can grow into a being that stays in a state of equanimity while all the world and chaos goes on around us. So it's really a calling to shore up that inner alignment, no matter what comes about, to shatter your dream. No, it's not really shattering dreams. It's more that holding only one dream is sometimes a little bit asking for too much, right? Hold a dream in general, but the way that you get there and the way that you end up there may not be the way you planned, right? So it's asking for some flexibility. And then internally, inside, underneath this dream card within you, you're realizing this is another emotion card, that it's coming close to, or it is time, or it's time to drop some of this, to let go of some of the things that we're clinging to. So just like the droplet of water just falls right off the lily pad and then becomes more, it becomes part of the pond, right? And then it expands out in those rings that show how it expands out. It changes shape. So if we let go of the feelings associated with these unknown truths, and especially if this is something that you've pushed down that's within you, if you let go of the feelings that are keeping those in place and just understand that at this point in my growth, I'm better equipped to handle some of this if it comes to the surface, then, releasing yourself from that grip and from that hold is the way to move forward. And I think that for some of you, you're realizing that it's necessary to let go of some expectations or some feelings surrounding this topic, whatever that is for you, whatever that submerged information is. And, if this is something in your external world that you're just still seeking information and trying to become educated on and finding more about the truth about it, then letting go of the expectation of the perfection or whatever that is, that ideal situation, letting go of that is called for. And the result of that willingness to let some of this stuff drop away is better awareness, is clarity. So it's kind of like, be patient, be patient, allow this stuff to fall away. Don't hold on to one specific outcome, and wait and be patient as the information comes to the surface. Then the veil will be lifted, there will be more clarity, and from there, you'll know how to proceed. And then if this is something within you and internal that you're wanting to deal with and process and rise up from your surface and do away with, same result. You have more clarity, you have more lightness, you can see things more clearly in how to proceed from there. So I kept jumping back and forth between something that's within you and something that's happening in your world, but it felt like both those meanings were applying. And so for whichever of you have one or two, one or the other of these situations going on, this reading, it still applies to each of you. And then if it's not something that resonates for you at this time, that's perfectly fine too. This is energy work. This is not predictive, and I'm not, an all-seer and saying this is exactly what's happening in your life, but it's energy work and it's from a soul level. So it's really a reminder that in general, everything isn't as it seems, right? And everything progresses and rises to the surface in its own time. And that's the guidance to remember at this time. And the patience card, I feel, is one of the most important ones in this spread, because all in good time, it will reveal itself, whatever that is for you. Okay. All right, Scorpio, I'm so glad you're here with me. Thank you for being here on my channel. Give me the likes and all the engagement that you do if you wish to. Subscribe, comment, share, all those things, so we can get this channel going. I'm wanting to boost my little algorithm a little bit. And I appreciate all of you very much for sticking with me all this time, even through the dormant years. And I'll see you again very soon in September. Okay, take care.